So y'all had a client in Austin.
Yeah, we had this, the company that I had, they emailed us directly and wanted us to go to Austin and walk their facilities to see where like some of their security issues are. And bid on the contract.
Oh, nice,
so I had to go there
nice.
and I could send them reports by Wednesday.
Okay.
So I think it's I don't like a rehab center where people go with like alcoholics or drug addicts. It's involuntary. It's 5 facilities. And, have a lot of issues where because the employees are threatened, they're threatened, their lives are being threatened.
The employees?
Yeah, employees, they're actually pretty scared. Where the facilities are located is not in the hood, so the match that is outside in the parking lot that the party programs. So one of them is at AIDS and HIV, so one is like methadone.
Mm.
So one of the guys came up to me like they've kicking him out because he was doing what he's supposed to be doing. Like he's telling us that they're kicking me out, like they're sitting me out on the street, and I'm highly medicated, and they don't care about me. Like he's heroin. I don't trust this facility. He's pregnant. They don't care about the people that come in. I wanted to say no, I'm scared for money. That's what this was like.
Wow, I hope and pray y'all get it. Yeah. Okay, you guys. So we're going to talk about Chapter 1 in medical office procedures. The learning outcomes will be to describe the tasks and skills required for administrative medical assistants. Okay, you all are not administrative medical assistants. Y'all are medical administrators. Let me put it like that. Medical administrators, okay? But the concept is still the same. If the medical assistants was learning this same book, they would learn what y'all learn, because their advantage would be they would know how to work the clinical side and the administrative side. You all are just strictly administrative, no clinical, okay? No needles, no nothing like that, okay? All right, so the administrative medical assistant or administrative assistant has a task and responsibility in the following areas: front desk procedures, scheduling, records management, administrative duties, and financial. This task requires skills in the following area: communication, mathematics, organization, computers and equipment, interpersonal relationships. Okay. So those are some of the things that we're going to be working with. Y'all had, I think, in one of those modules for week 2, y'all were supposed to do a paper on awareness in the community. It's in week 1 or week 2. Maybe it's in medical office administration. I have to go back and see. But I did put something in announcements, some videos, I think, on awareness, or I think I text y'all a video about awareness in your environment. What it's trying to do is get you to be culturally aware of your work environment, okay? Because as you know, some work environments may be a little bit more racial dynamics than others, okay? So you have to be culturally aware. You might have to work and know a little bit more Spanish than you normally do, or some sort of, what do you call that, Mandarin, which is Chinese, a little bit of the Asian, different kinds of Korean. It just depends on, maybe Indian. I don't know their dialect name, but or other culture. So, and you have to also be aware of their personal practices. Because even though they have the foundational learning of what they know as far as medicine, physicians, nurses, the foundations, they all been trained the same. But how they handle their business, they may honor different things within their practice. Like they may have prayer time in the middle of the day and everybody has to quiet down or stop for 15 or 30 minutes just to honor meditation time. Okay. Uh, you may have to be in a cultural diverse environment where you have to celebrate a little bit more of Spanish culture because there's a more Spanish population there where you work, okay? Or you may have to uh, celebrate more Afro American culture because of where you work, okay? So it's always good to know where you're working, you're being aware, you're not just bringing your stuff outside in, but you're also enmeshing with the community. You want to be a good servant of the community. So that's what those papers are talking about, okay? Being culturally sensitive. Okay, key concepts: honesty, the ability to always tell the truth, to quickly assume responsibility for mistakes. Now, you can be honest and account for your own mistakes. I'm not going to say account, I think it should have been worded to account for your own mistakes, not someone else's. Okay, because I've been in workplace environments and corporate America where stuff was someone else's stuff and they were trying to blame me for their stuff. And when I go in deeper into the IP address and everything, I'm like, no, that's her logon, her initials, this is her name, this is her work. I know better, so why would you come at me with all these mistakes? And it's her, or him. Okay, so you want to make sure that you own your own stuff. Don't let nobody booby trap you with their stuff. Okay, so be careful with that. Be vocal. It's real important to be vocal. Okay, speak up and stand up for yourself. Okay, all right, initiative, the ability to take action independently. Sometimes you might have a high turnover rate of some work piling up in the office. Sometimes you may be the one to say, you know what, I think I can be the problem solver to some of that, not all of that. So let me see what I can do to help. Make it known to your managers and to those who may need your help or assistance in other departments. You'll be amazed how word gets around in the office that Jakaria, she's just fantastic. She gets her work done and she comes around and asks if anybody else in their department needs other work. And I can only imagine you probably like that at your present job. Am I right or wrong? Yep, that is you. I thought so. Okay. The same for Maisha. No, you don't do that. You just stick to. I'm not helping them. No, I'm kidding. I will help. You will help. Okay. I thought so. Danielle, do you work? Oh, okay. Have you had a job before? No, I just started to go to school. Oh, okay. But if you were in the perfect situation, would you volunteer to help outside your department? You would. Fantastic. Okay. Fantastic. Everything okay? Okay. What about you, Nelly? You're very antisocial? Okay, so you just rather stay in your own little cubicle and that's it. Stay hiding. Nobody recognize you. They just know you there according to the clockwork. My God. Okay. Yeah. That's why I got you sitting right there. Because when you get in that career field, that's gonna change, sweetie. I hate to tell you that. That's gonna change. Chris, what about you? When you're in a certain work dynamic and let's suppose a perfect situation, you finish up your work. Do you offer to help someone else in their department catch up on their work?
No, I've never really been in that situation.
Really?
Because either the job that I had, I was responsible for my own work, I had my own office.
Okay.
or I was in charge of a group of guys. I never really got that work.
You never, so if you were in charge of a group of guys, and let's just say one or two of your men called in for work, would you just pull up your sleeves and?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I think I worked in NOV,
What is NOV?
National Oval Market.
Okay.
I was I'm like the general foreman there, and I actually went down there like every day. I was working on the ground. They actually told me I couldn't go.
Oh, okay. But sometimes you just can't help it because the work got to get done. Production has to be sitting there. Yeah. Well, that's the same concept that I'm talking about, is digging in and helping out. We were talking about cultural sensitivity of where you work. Of course, you being in the military, you know about that, going across seas and stuff like that, and being able to help out your co-laborers, if you will, in the military, and then you translate that over into the civilian life, and you're able to help your co-laborers in the civilian life, right? So that's what I'm talking about. What about you, Brenda?
Now where I'm working, no, because I work for a company, so everybody takes their own calls. But when I was a cook, yes, of course. Kitchen manager used to pick up the car.
Okay.
Or anybody to help.
Okay, great. So nobody is an island. That is the old proverb that was once said. Nobody is an island. Team. Everybody what? Together, everybody what? Achieve much. Okay. That's why I have y'all in teams. Okay. So you need to check on your teammate. Brenda, you need to find out what happened to your teammates. Why she ain't here. We already know about Kayla. So, oh, okay, sure. Okay. Oh, okay. I will do that. Perfect. Okay. Who am I missing? You two. Have y'all been communicating, talking?
I don't think I have her
Make
new
sure.
number. Didn't I even have another number?
Yeah, I will give you her new number. It's on the chat. Yeah,
I
it's.
didn't know who that was.
Oh, okay. I will send that to you. Kayla, check and see how she doing. Okay. Okay. All right. So, problem solving, the ability to use logic to plan needed steps to accomplish a goal. Okay. So, you may be the one that knows how to execute something, being a troubleshooter. Okay. Has anybody been known to be an expert on the job? You always know how to figure something out, how to get it done. Well, somebody may like, I just can't quite put my finger on it. I just can't. Okay. All right. That kind of thing. Punctuality, the ability to be on time. Now, I ain't going to be the one to talk about that. Because I know I'm the queen of that. That's one of my downfalls. I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm going to come. There you go. So I don't make big criticisms about that. I really don't. But coming at all, yeah, I try to advocate for that. So I rather you, like I said before, I think I said it on text, I rather you come some than none. Either you come and then you have to do what you gotta do, or come later and so I rather you do that. Okay, self-motivation, the ability to express a willingness to learn new duties or procedures without a requirement to do so. Okay, so how many of y'all feel like that's not my job? That's above my pay grade.
I know there's somebody in here to do it. Just raise your hand. Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Okay, self-motivation, the ability to express a willingness to learn new duties and or procedures without a requirement to do so. So if Sally Sue and Jamie Foxx was working the front desk, and Jamie Foxx went out on a lunch break, and you're working back here in coding and billing, And Sally Sue is at the front desk by herself. She's getting swamped because the line is getting long. All of a sudden, because Jamie decided he want to take his lunch break at 12, everybody want to come in. Everybody and their mama, they got a 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock appointment. They all want to come into the office at one time. Should you voluntarily go help Sally Sue? Or just leave Sally Sue by herself until Jamie Foxx come back?
I mean, I do. That's how I feel. Sometimes I like when I work in my job. I mean, they have to do what to send customer service to a customer service manager. I mean, they get paid more than me. The customer service manager get paid $15,000. But I know everything is basically like so when nobody come in or when somebody
Weren't you a manager?
Okay, I'm gonna revisit that. Give me just a minute. I'm gonna revisit that.
You know, a lot of people do that when they say, "Oh, this is about my first thing, great. This ain't my job." But when they actually read the job description, now that's about
Other duties that's assigned.
Yes.
I work for the city of Houston, and we quick to say that ain't my pay grade.
But no, not even that.
Quick.
It'll say any other duties that are asked of you or whatever.
Ours
That's in
is-
every job description.
Ours is other duties that's assigned.
Yeah, other duties that assigned. So they tell you to do something, you already signed that contract. But everybody always quick to say, "It ain't my job. That's what above my pay grade."
Depending on how long you've been there, you can say whatever you want to say.
Oh, but you still work. You don't have to work. You don't have to be there.
You right, but I'm not doing my supervisor job. I'm gonna sit right there and let her understand her like.
You're
Are you serious?
You're.
Oh my God!
I have a company. You're working for my company, right? And she's my manager. You don't want to do her job, or you don't want to do anything for her. But say something happens. Now I need somebody to step up. Do you want them to hire in-house, or you want them to hire?
If it's a matter of getting hired to
That's not the
get a
question.
different position.
That's not the question. You don't know the job. I mean, you don't want to do her job. But would you like for them to hire in-house or go outside hire somebody?
In-house would be the best,
Okay,
but
so why would you not learn her job or take her job?
I didn't say I didn't know her job. I
Or
just
do
said
it.
I wasn't gonna do it.
Because if they see that you do that, they might say, "Hey, you know what, girl?
You heard why I said I work.
It don't matter. I did
The
not.
city of Houston,
State,
no,
county,
it don't work like that. It don't work like that. I'm not gonna do nobody's job. You know, I will, now I ain't gonna lie, I will sit there and watch you and you just struggling, you on the brink of tears. I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna down here and help you. But if you walking around all the time with this, I'm better attitude because you make more, and now you're struggling, I'm just gonna look at you like, that's what they pay you for.
Amen. Amen. I can understand.
But I mean, I've been there a long time. People, when new people get hired, they say, she mean, sometimes she don't speak. That's just my whole.
I know for me, man, and that's not, I'm not gonna say it works for everybody. Like I was telling Ms. Harper, I mean, I really don't have a degree in anything, kind of jack of all trades. Whenever I had to do my manager's job, I did it, and but the thing about it, I'm like, hey, I'm doing so-and-so job, look. I let everybody know that I'm doing it. And every time that I had since I was 22, man, up for my position, because you that person's job, can you go do it? Yeah, but I let everybody know. So,
Well,
that's just how I am.
at the city, people are more stuck into like, we in an age where it's work smarter, not harder. But because they've done it a certain way for so long, they don't want to implement new things. So your process may be taking 3 days to do. My process may take us 45 minutes. But you don't want to change it because it's what you're used to. And if I decide to just change it and have some people to be like, oh yeah, we change it, then you're going to go and file a grievance and say, I was doing your job, I told you so. Okay, 3-day process it is. And when it get all overwhelming to you, I can't help you. I tried to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah,
That's
that
how it is over there.
That's how, so you learn the methodologies of how to handle your job and the environment of your job. Okay.
But I know who to be nice to. So I know people that's up here. So I mean, Yeah, I know it'll be nice too. When I get to looking like I'm looking at my bank account, I need a little more money. Okay, let me talk to this. Yeah, I make myself
Politics.
friendly with people. It counts. If you just walking around here want to be friends, talking about, oh girl, my shop. I don't want to talk about none of that. Not us, the big boss. I'm like, how your children doing?
That is true. That is true. That is certainly. I did that in the insurance industry. I mean, well, now when I worked for NAM, I was a entry level claims examiner. But then I knew the director of the company. And she was Christian, the human resource lady was Christian. So I knew how to get, work my way through. But I just love to work. That's just me. And so I would sit there and do claims. And if they got backlogged, they would come out and ask who I want to voluntarily work overtime. Some folks will work it every week and then they get burned out, So I knew how to pace myself. Some week I'll do 5 hours. The next week I do 10. The next week I do 5. Then if it's like getting close to Christmas time or a certain thing, I knew to jack it on up to 20 hours. Because I was doing like 20 and 30 hours of overtime a week. I did real good with some bonus checks. Yeah, and so every time Robin would ask who I want to stay late to do this, who I want to stay, I would volunteer. After a while, you had to complain, like you said, pay grade. I ain't. So why they my desk like? Exactly. And so while training, I'm doing like 5 claims in 30 minutes. And Robin say, see, this is what I don't understand. How is it, Tara, every time I ask for, she just does it. She don't complain, she just do it. If I can't do it, I'm gonna put a line through whatever work I can't do, write a note and say, I can't do it because this is a dirty claim. Or this requires a lot of research or something like that. But I am working my staff. We had, at that time in 97, no, 98, we had paper staff. Okay, now everything is electronic, so it's like sheets, lines of like 100 claims on one sheet of paper. So you got to work your line on a sheet of paper now. It'd be the same thing as stacks, it's just condensed on a line sheet of paper. So I would just do it. And if I can't do it, I'm just gonna write a note. I can't do it for this reason. I can't process for this reason. But I work the stack, and I got promoted like that. I always got recognized and promoted. And I was pretty much like you, Chris. I would make it known among, like supervisors and managers, but I made it count among the big wigs.
Exactly.
I made it count. I made it known to where, and my daddy, I guess because my daddy taught us those kind of work ethics like that. When 2000 came in and my company at that time had laid off folks, because that's the era when they started making folks fill out an application online in 2000. Everything was like, you need to go online. And I'm like, what is that? What is that? Explain to me. What is that? So it wasn't any more paper applications. You had to go online. Some places still do it, but that's what I did. But I enjoyed it. I got promoted twice all the way up to adjustment auditing and made good money. I paid off my little red sports car. I was getting ready to buy myself a house. I was getting ready to take myself on a cruise. I did good until I met my husband.
I'm about to say, you saying yourself, you must be single.
No, I was staying with my mother.
Single.
Yeah, I was single. Yeah, I was staying with my mom. I was staying, my daddy just died in 95. Yeah, this was like, 95 to 99. Yeah.
I had one of my managers that I had found out about real quick. He got kind of upset about it. But every time I did his work, I would send an email to him, but it also had his boss forwarded on there, his boss forwarded on there, you could just use my email. I'm like, why would I use my phone? Like, no, you just use mine. I'm like, I'm not going to do the work and not get recognized for it. I do
Exactly.
the work. I have no problem doing it, but they're going to know it's coming to me.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because he wants to perpetrate.
That's how my boss is, and that's kind of where that mentality came from because I work in liens. So that's the city goes out and they do work on properties like cut the grass, tear the building down, move junk motor vehicles, whatever. When we send out a contractor, we get people. Let's just say a lot of the times it's like your grandmother's house, you know, somebody's house, and you come and you're like, I can't sell the property and all that because you got this big lien because we done the work. So anyway, we have to write a letter if you want to do an assessment, which we have to do this research, find out if we did it. Usually we got pictures of before, after, during, all this kind of stuff. Notices that we send out, we have a copy of the notice, all of that. So our supervisor, she signs those letters, right? And it has her name on it, her information. Okay, I say, she's not gonna get credit for my letters. So I started putting under her initials, my initials. And so she just noticed it and she's like, why do you do that? Because you're not gonna get credit for my work. Because it make it look like that we're not doing nothing and you just signing away and no, exactly. You're not gonna get credit for my work.
Amen.
And she was like, well, that's just the extra line. I don't care if it's 10 extra lines on here, you're not gonna get credit for my work.
Amen. Amen. That's smart. And that's good that you're vocal like that because
she think I'm the meanest person in the world.
She's not seeing it as a wise thing.
No, because she want to be my friend and I only won't be her friend because she keeps trying to be my friend. Like, stop trying so hard. But don't that make you feel weird? Like, why do you keep trying to be my friend so bad? Yeah. I don't want to be a friend because
like there's an ulterior motive to it and you're not being natural with it.
She just think I'm so mean. Oh, she said she's so mean. No, I want to be friends with you. Stop asking me that. She sent me friend requests on Facebook. I have to block her, all kinds of stuff. She just wants to be friends so bad.
Wow. So I'm one of those obsessed friends.
That's not good.
She has to find somebody else.
Bless her heart.
That's what I say.
Whole thing. Mm-hmm. She'll be all right. But
she sure will because she won't be friends with me.
No, that's right. I don't blame you. Okay, tact. The ability to speak and act considerately, especially in difficult situations. Is anyone good with tactful words? Tactful, how to be, how can I say? Judo. Verbal judo.
That's actually a thing.
Really?
Yeah. Cops are taught that.
What is it?
Verbal judo.
Who talks like that?
The cops are trained on is how to be direct but tactful at the same time.
Oh.
It's called verbal judo.
I ain't never heard of that before. Hey, sister. How you doing? Oh, she's sweet.
They said that I was trying to be a trainer.
You keep getting these trader haters, huh?
I completed the whole LMRT program. I just didn't do the extern.
Oh.
And then I switched to medical because so they said.
Oh.
I finished it. I just didn't do the extern.
But are you gonna continue with it eventually, or?
Probably. I'm kind of crazy the way I got pregnant, and I was high risk. And my doctor was like, "No to those X-rays, no to that standing up. You need to find something else." And this was like the best thing to do. So they said that I can just go to extern if I want to go back. So.
Oh, okay, good for you.
You still can go to extern. I mean, because all of my courses I was complete, and all of that, I just have to go to extern.
Okay. Yeah, and then you want to be safe, for right now.
But I got some good stuff out of it because I went through that class. I was able to get my phlebotomy certification.
Oh, I didn't know they offer that within the program. Oh.
And then you just take the test online, and so now I can apply for like labs, jobs, and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, if I don't go back, but I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a blessing. Well, you're gonna be a triple threat then. Go back and finish that, and then you finish this. You're gonna be a triple threat.
They cross train you to do the front office and what is it, MA work and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. I didn't know how that program went, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I just know I just love Mr. Brinkley and my sister. Hmm. Okay. Being a member of the team, ability to work positively with others, to be generous with his or her time, to assist others, to be courteous, and to observe um, rules of confidentiality. Okay, so that's pretty much chapter 1 right there. Let me ask y'all some possible true and false questions, and you tell me, is it true or false? Okay. Um, An advantage of being a certified national organization is a lifetime certification. Is it true or false? Let me read it again. An advantage of being certified by a national organization is lifetime certification. Okay, anybody else? Okay, all right, anybody else? Danielle? Yeah, okay, all right, Nelly? True or false? You don't know. Oh, come on, y'all got to talk. All right, read it again. An advantage of being certified by a national organization is lifetime certification. Okay, so Chris say false, Jakaria say false.
I say it could be both because you said the advantages
Right.
of being a part of a certification, right? So
Right.
That's true because it could be a lifetime thing as
Yeah,
long as you
right.
keep it up.
As long as you keep it up. Okay, so you kind of betwixt with that. Okay, I got you. Okay, really the answer is false. It's false. And then I can see your point. An advantage of being certified from a national organization is that it fosters growth by the need to recertify. So you are correct. You do have to recertify every year or two. It just depends on what's required. Now, let me explain by what that means. Okay, when y'all get ready to take the certification through NAHP, you take the test, you pass it. You only take it, well, you take it as many times until you pass it. Okay, but usually everybody.
Only one time they make the rest of it.
Well, yeah, this is true. I heard that. However, I've heard that it's much. It's a great success rate of those who have passed it. So it's no fear in failing it. You know, most majority of students have passed it. Okay, so it's that easy. And I'll well, no, I can't do that here. I have it for ACC, but it.
You can always go to ACC for a school tour and just have to come to.
I bet you would.
I don't know what you plan on, but it sounds good.
It is 100% pass rate. I have to let y'all do it according to how Miss Shackelford does it because we do it a little different at HCC. So, but it's both the same thing. I just don't want to confuse y'all. So I'm just gonna keep what I have. But however, once you take the test and you pass it, you do not have to take the test anymore to recertify. CEUs.
Continue education.
Continue Education Unit. So let's suppose today is 10/10. I need to play lotto. Yeah, baby, that's take time. I need to play lotto. Now, let's suppose you pass it today's date and they give you a certificate, congratulations. Jakaria, you passed NAHP, blah, blah, blah. You have until October 10, 2019 to recertify. That means that you have to do continuing education courses, and it's not expensive. Some of them are free. And remind me, Danielle, to share that information some of the websites that I use to get free continuing education units. Let me explain to y'all how that works. Now, let's suppose you go through Medscape. This pen does not write well. Let's suppose you go through Medscape. Let's suppose you go through Texas Department. I forgot. Okay, I ain't gonna say that Texas Department. I'm gonna say Department of Health and Human Services. I forgot what the acronyms are, but the Department of Health and Human Services. Okay, and let's suppose I did 3 webinars. Okay, 3 webinars, and they each were $25 a piece. That means each one was worth 1 CEU, 1 point. So I paid $75 for 3 CEUs. Okay. Medscape, I probably had to do about 10 CEUs. Not a webinar, but like a online reading class. Okay, I did an online reading class, and each one was a weight of 0.25. What is 10 times 0.25? Is that like 2.5? Okay, so 2.5. So when I add that, 2.50. So I'm going to bring this 2.50 down. I'm going to add it here, 2.50. I have now accrued 5.50, which let's suppose, by example, that I have to have 10 CEUs. Okay, and I did this many. So I have basically negative 4.5 more CEUs to do. Okay, maybe your job had an in-service. Ask your job, okay, are y'all gonna give out certificates because I need to earn some CEU credits? Ask them that, you know. It could be just about on anything as long as it's relative. It could be on adolescents and drugs. It could be on infants born, you know, on a full moon, you know, something like that. As long as it's relative, something on education. Children achieve more when they read every day. You know, it's healthy for the brain, you know, something like that. If it gives you CEU units with a certificate, then use that towards this. And now, once you keep adding, let's suppose you take a bunch of them through your job, maybe, you know, some other places, and you accrue 4 point that. Now you have earned your whole 10 point CEUs, your CEUs. Now, once you earn all 10 of your CEUs, then you're going to send it to NAHP for renewal. Okay, and then now you're going to be updated from 10/10/19 through 10/10/20. You see how that works?
Can you get more points? Like say you did all these certifications, you got like 20 points. Or is it
You can. Now, if it let's suppose you get, instead of 10, like you said, and you get 20 CEUs, then that means that instead of you being 10/10/2019 through 2020, you'll be 10/10 for 21.
So it's like you have to get 10
Per year?
Per year.
Okay, so if you get more than that, then you'll be certified.
Yeah, you just have to pay a little bit more. So let's suppose when you get ready to do your renewal, all you gotta do is pay your money, turn in your CEUs. That's it. You pay your money, I don't know, let's suppose your renewal fee is $65. But if you turn in 20, what's 65 times 2? 130. So that means you need to pay $130. to make it spread out 2 years. So now you're going to be renewing every 2 years. Does that make sense? I'm not sure how many CEUs NAHP requires, but I'm just saying 10 as an example, okay? It may be, I don't know, it may be 6 per year. It may be 5 per year, but if you do 10, then you pay that double the cost per year. Okay, everybody got that? Yeah, because some folks be like, do I have to take the test all over again? No, once you take it and you pass it, that is it. Okay? Unless you let it lapse. Yeah. Now, what happens is if you let it lapse, and I've seen it in with license exams and certifications, sometimes they'll give you a mini test just to see how much you know. Not like the regular test you took the first time, but you have to pay a little bit more money to get it recertified because of your lapse time. Yeah. So instead of you paying $130 for the test, you might end up paying like $80 or $70 because you let it lapse. Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. To calculate patient balances, an administrative office assistant must possess accurate math skills. Okay. To calculate patient balances, an administrative office assistant must possess accurate math skills. True. Okay. An individual who prefers to work alone would be a good candidate to work in a medical office team environment. False. Very good. Nellie, did you catch that?
Yeah.
Danielle, did you catch that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. False, because an individual who genuinely likes people would be a good candidate to work in a medical office team environment. However, there are some, who are not as sociable. You have to present yourself to move forward at times. Okay. Sometimes you might be put in a position where you got to. Okay. Brenda.
Until I start going to school at the University of Pennsylvania.
Then you change.
Every week you have 5 something.
Wow.
Every week you have to give up.
Wow.
Or either read or something like that. So that's in every class, no matter if it's math or every week.
That's good. That's good because yes.
Sometimes you have 2.
I take the
You have your individual work and you'll have your team work.
Mm-hmm. That's good because we wouldn't want you to come out and you never have any kind of vocal skills. I remember you telling me that. Yeah. And Brenda, but you can't do that in the real world, Brenda. Y'all getting ready to leave me in 2 weeks, so you can't do that, Brenda.
I'll be back in January.
I know you'll be back in January.
The administration part.
So,
wait.
For the associate's degree, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know who's teaching that.
I don't know.
Is it going to be online?
No, it's here. I think it's here. It's here. I gotta wait until I go to externship.
For the associate's degree, right? Okay.
Yeah, they're transferring all the credits that I get from here. And then hopefully I can get, they're only going to transfer 6 credits from the University of Phoenix. So I got to take all that math and stuff all over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's only going to be at this for 7 months.
That's not bad.
What about the month that I missed when I was gone? Do I have to make that up?
Shh. Gotcha.
What is it?
The month that I was gone?
Oh, okay.
I think
Oh,
that was part of my question for Dr.
okay.
I had a lot of people.
Okay. You talking about the work, the class work?
That
Okay.
was back in like June when I took it.
Okay, I have to go back and figure out what classes they were. I don't remember. Well, are you saying you need a refresher?
No, I just didn't know if I was going to count against me because I wasn't here those 4 weeks.
They
Remember I
drop
took
you?
I took a leave of absence, remember? I signed.
Yeah, you did. You did.
They told me to take
I don't
a
know
leave of
how.
absence, they still gonna drop
What is it?
you. They told me if you take a leave of absence, they still would drop you.
They will drop you or not?
They will.
Oh,
That's what
no.
they told
Well,
me.
this
They
was
can't drop you. Well,
different.
they can't drop you when you take a leave.
Oh, no, hold on. She said that, I'm lying. If you take a leave of absence and you miss a class, like this, what's the name of this
The
class?
module.
This
This
mod, you have to wait until it comes back around
That's what I
again
was
to take it.
thinking, because I don't remember what module it was.
Oh.
That's
I
what
left
she told me.
first
So
week,
it'll
and I
make
was-
you be way behind.
Don't think about it. You left in the middle of that month.
No, I left in the beginning. My mom passed on the 4th of June. It was like the
Did you go to class? You went to
No, I
class?
didn't come back. The
Yeah,
whole
she
month.
did. She didn't come
Actually, I
back.
thought you came.
I didn't come back till after July, the 4th of July holiday, the 9th of July.
So you have to ask Miss Shacker for that,
Okay.
sweetie, because I don't know, and I don't know what class that was. I don't remember the title. Yeah, but you have to ask her. I don't want to give you the wrong information.
I'm trying to find out because I'm gonna be gone.
Oh.
After the December month.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think too. If y'all can't get to her to ask her, you can ask Miss McKinney. Are you familiar with her?
Well, you know you can miss those 4 classes and do the work online.
Yeah, she
And
said
not
that
drop
as
by.
long as I come on the last week, which the class is over, I think on the 16th
He
or
was trying to
something,
get me to do that.
and all the work
I
is
didn't
turned
do
in by the 20th, which is that Friday, then I can miss, because it's gonna be the Christmas and whatever holiday, I can miss that next week, which will give you 4 weeks to be out.
Okay.
So if I can recover in 4 weeks to come back, then I won't have to worry about it, but
You have to ask Miss Shacker.
that's what Miss McKinney said.
Oh, okay. Okay, then Miss Shacker would be your person. 'Cause I don't know how to work that.
I just don't wanna have to wait until something come back around, because it's gonna push you way behind.
That kind of
And you
contradicts
can't
what they
even
said.
start your external.
They kind of contradicts what they said.
Let me turn the camera off.
that. So that's what I'm saying, like, am I gonna be able to do that?
So they tell you that you can miss up to 100